Hey YouTubers, today I'll be reviewing my last Sam Raimi Spider-Man movie. I'll review the others. I'm just saying I'm done with the trilogy, reviewing the trilogy. Okay, yeah, Spider-Man 3, directed by Sam Raimi. Okay, I'm just going to talk about all the bad parts and then the good parts, so I can just just get it all out there. Okay. 1. Venom. I'm just gonna get with the worst thing. Topher Grace's Venom. So as you know, he's on my worst comic book movies review. Sam Raimi didn't want to do Venom, but the studio said, you know what, maybe we should, to kick this off, we should do Venom. Okay. So that's one reason why Venom's bad. Second reason, Topher Grace is not as good as Eddie Brock. He's not buff. See, so what I found out about that why Venom always is buff in the comics, apparently Eddie Brock had like this cancer. Well, he had cancer and he got buffed. I didn't know about that. I was like, why is he so buff? Yeah, I mean, the reason he got buff in Spider-Man the Animated Series, but since that was a kid show, he was just mad at Spider-Man, so he kept working out and all that stuff. Yeah. But anyway, Topher Grace is just not a good Venom. It's just weird. And it's weird that he's dating Gwen Stacy. Yes, we have a version of Gwen Stacy in this movie. It's just so weird. Not a good Venom. And he's like, ooh, okay, we're going to see a cool showdown between... I mean, I liked Harry and Spider-Man teaming up. We got that. But Spider-Man fighting Venom should have been this epic fight. But it wasn't. It was just this lame, drawn-out fight. And the fact that Eddie basically kills himself makes no sense. It really doesn't. The fact that he just jumped, like, Peter threw a pumpkin bomb at it, and Eddie just went back to the symbiote and just killed. And the symbiote he tried to get back to the symbiote that he blew up. That was the time I came back. We barely get Eddie Brock in this movie. All we know about this Eddie Brock is he's selfish, and he puts on the suit, and then he blows up. Okay, because we barely see Venom in this movie. Especially as Venom. We only see him till like the end of the movie. And then he fights Spider-Man a little bit, kills Harry, and then blows up. He's barely in this movie. He just blows up. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that was bad. Okay, now we gotta get to Sandman. Have mercy. Sandman could have been good, but the things they make him do, it's just weird. Okay, so he's a criminal that basically tries to get money for his daughter. Okay? So that means he'll be a criminal. That makes sense. Okay, you'll be a criminal. And then you got superpowers. Okay, you'll be a criminal. Makes sense. But Sandman becomes a giant monster and tries to kill Spider-Man. What does Spider-Man do to you? Like, literally, all Spider-Man did was punch him. I mean, he could have gotten more money from anywhere else. But no. He started all this havoc. Like, basically, he killed a lot of people. And the fact that he's getting money for his daughter. Trying to get money for your daughter, but you're killing a lot of people? Innocent people? Your ex-wife is not going to take that money. I'm just saying it's kind of weird. The fact that, okay, you would be a criminal who would just steal stuff. But you're killing people? I feel like this movie just contradicts itself. Because first he's supposed to be like this criminal. But then he becomes a full-blown supervillain for no reason. And then when he loses, he'd say, nope, sorry, can you forgive me? You cause all this havoc. It would make more sense if you're just a criminal in the movie. But you become a full-blown supervillain? What the balls? That's weird. I mean, it's probably like, oh, it's not a big deal. Oh, just Cinema Inc. Watch the movie. You're like, this movie contradicts itself. What? The what? A criminal to a full-blown supervillain in like 2 seconds. What the what? I'm saying he could have stolen money from anywhere. He just had to go kill people. And then when he almost loses, he say, nope. Can you forgive me? After all that? I mean, I could see if you were just a criminal in the movie and you accidentally kill Uncle Ben. Okay, I will forgive you. But you caused all this mayhem? Seriously? Goodness gracious. Okay. What is another bad scene? Oh my goodness. The dancing scene. We'll talk about Emo Peter in a minute. The dancing. What is wrong with you? And like I said, like my worst comic movies list, like, okay, to Peter, I mean, if Peter, who's a nerd, and he would get the symbiote, he would dance. Because he would think dancing is cool. The symbiote's messing with his mind. So in his mind, he thinks, oh, dancing must be like a cool kid. But the way they do it, it's just stupid. The fact that he does it to just mess with Mary Jane, that to make her jealous, that doesn't bother me. I mean, that's exactly what he would do if he was bad. I mean, mean but bad. And he's like Emo Peter, and then he has this thing on his eye. It looks like he has eyeshadow, like you see in those punk rock bands. It's like none of it makes sense. This whole movie don't make sense. But that's just weird. There's not really too many things I can say about it. I'm just saying that then he's kind of weird. Yeah, I can't really dwell on that too long. And the fact that Peter actually kisses Mary Jane, and he thought MJ would be okay with it. What the heck? That's all I can say. What the heck, people? And then she doesn't want to marry him? Dude, you kissed another woman. Of course you'll be pissed. Goodness gracious. That's all I'm going to say. Yeah, I can't dwell on that. That's just too much. Okay, one more thing. Give me a second. There's a lot of bad parts. Okay, give me a second. I'm going to think. Oh, yeah. Okay. I was saying. So, anyway, in the movie, Harry tries to get revenge on Peter. Of course. You've seen the first Spider-Man movie. He said, okay, one day Spider-Man will pay. Spider-Man 2, he said, let's go see behind a mask. And he said, Peter, you're Spider-Man? You killed my dad? No. Okay, third movie. And basically he said, he gets the Goblin Serum. Tries to kill Peter. Exactly what we all thought. Exactly what people thought when he saw the first Spider-Man movie. So anyway, Peter fights him. It is a pretty epic fight. And I'm not talking about the CG. I'm just going to say, CG's bad in this movie. That's all you can really say about this movie. Bad CG. Why? Goodbye. So anyway, Peter defeats him too easily. All he has to do is get hit in the head, and then he has amnesia. And when he has amnesia, he acts like a child molester. I'm not saying he is a child molester. I'm just saying he acts like one. When he has amnesia. It's just weird. But he still has goblin reflexes. I'm saying all of this because Spider-Man didn't defeat Green Goblin that easy in the first movie. It was not easy. And it's not like Spider-Man easily dodged him and Green Goblin got hit in the head and got amnesia. No. He beat the crap out of Spider-Man. I mean, the only reason he won is because the glider. I mean, otherwise, Goblin probably would have beat Spider-Man to death. I'm saying all this because he defeated him too easily and he got amnesia. The Goblin? The guy who keeps throwing Spider-Man through stuff? And please, somebody watch Spider-Man No Way Home. I need to talk about whatever that movie. So I can just like, why? I'm saying, why did he get amnesia? It was too easy. The guy beat the crap out of him in the first movie. The guy who beat the crap out of him. I keep saying, I mean, he threw a pumpkin bomb into his face. And he has spider sense, but still flew his face, blew half of his mask off. And you just get amnesia? And you easily get defeated? The Goblin? What? That was stupid. But everything else, I don't mind. That Peter's like, oh, you didn't kill his butler said, you didn't kill my parent? You didn't kill my dad? That I don't have a problem with this. Whew. That's all the bad parts. The good parts is like, okay, Peter's on top of the world. He's on top of the world. It was a Disney Channel song, but anyway, Peter is always he's had success everywhere, and Mary Jane feels kind of jealous of Spider-Man, which kind of makes sense. I mean, I do understand. I mean, in this movie, Spider-Man's like he's like a top of the world. He's like a movie star, and Mary Jane is like she's in Peter's shadow, so she feels kind of pissed about that. Which, that's her fault. She should have never just dated Peter and Spider-Man. I mean, he told her that, of course, there will be some enemies and crap. But she's jealous because Peter is Spider-Man. I didn't put it on the list because it's kind of stupid, but it's not as distracting. And you have seen people be jealous of other people in a lot of superhero movies. It's just a thing. Sometimes that's how superheroes are made. That don't really bother me that much. I'm just pointing that out. Peter's like on top of the world. Everybody loves him. Because in the first movie, okay, they're starting to like Spider-Man, but there's still some people that didn't like him. I'm not saying the whole city, but some people didn't like him. Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man just had, they just gave Peter this sad life. I mean, Harry hated him. His girlfriend hated him. I mean, the girl he liked was dating somebody else. It made it like him because he finally told her how Uncle Ben died. And his teacher, Otto Octavius, the one that gave him confidence. Well, he didn't really give him confidence. Becomes a supervillain. So the teacher that he's admired has a supervillain. So they just put it. I mean, Spider-Man Spider-Man 2 has a terrible life in that movie. Everything's just going horribly for him. They're just beating him down, beating him down, beating him down. His life is just awful. It's Spider-Man 3. He's on top of the world. Everybody likes him. But Mary Jane is just jealous. And I don't know, but I do kind of understand it. I mean, I can't relate. But I can see why she would be jealous. And like I said in my worst comic movies list, Harry has a good arc for hating Spider-Man. I mean, for being this selfish little brat that really don't like his stepdad, and when he hates Spider-Man, and then he gets pissed at his best friend because his best friend won't tell who Spider-Man is, and then he finds out his best friend is Spider-Man, and that just is like, oh my goodness, my best friend, the one I've known since I was a kid, killed my dad. We know Spider-Man did it, but yeah, and then he talks to his father. He's having like a mental breakdown, and he keeps saying, avenge me, and then he just throws it and sees all the Goblin gear. In the third movie, he's just like, he's spying on Peter like, okay, I'm gonna get you now, Spider-Man. And then gets beaten, and just ignore him getting hit in the head. So after that, he's like broken inside. Everyone he loved is either dead or he don't trust them anymore. And he's so pissed, he threatens Mary Jane and all that stuff. Threatened Peter. Oh, I did forget something. Okay, so apparently Harry threatens threatens Mary Jane that he's gonna hurt Peter, and then she breaks up with him. Why did that even happen? I mean, Spider-Man can take care of himself. He's fought 2 villains and Sandman and beat the crap out of him. Yeah. I mean, why is she pretending she don't like him? Peter can handle himself. Why, you think Peter can handle Harry? He did the beginning of the movie. I don't know. It's just, that's a pet peeve, too. Have mercy. Even when I was young, I was like, wait, he can take care of himself. I've seen him fight other villains. What the what? But I'm saying Harry gets a full arc, and then his butler says, when I cleaned your father's wound, it was from his glider. And he says, Peter didn't kill him. And he didn't say exactly, but Harry's like, what have I done? I've done all this horribleness. I've tried to kill Peter. I sold him out to Dr. Octopus. And he's just like, oh, shoot. Yeah, and he just feels like an idiot and all that stuff. He's like, I did all this because I was idiots. And he said, I know you're trying to, basically fight for your father's honor, but basically he's saying your father was messed up. He had issues and all that stuff. But basically, I think what he's saying is, don't be like your father. Your father wasn't a good man, so try to redeem yourself. And then Peter says, I can't do this alone. And Peter basically say, oh, we gotta fix our differences. I gotta save Mary Jane. I know we've had our differences, but please help me. Yeah. I mean, I like how Peter just admits that, oh, I'm sorry. I beat the crap out of you. You tried to kill me, but I was being a crappy friend. Basically what he's saying. And he said, get out. And Spider-Man's just like, fine, I'll try to stop these villains. But he gets his butt kicked. And then Harry just comes like, you know what, I wasn't going to let you die. And they team up. And that's the greatest thing ever. That's a good arc Harry has. And then just teaming up, he says, okay, get Mary Jane. Which was like, oh, thank God, this love triangle is gone. And he's just saying, fine, I can let you date or something. But he just basically said, go. And Peter just jumps head first. But then Harry just dies. Which, his death wasn't anticlimactic. It's basically how he would have died. I mean, even if you had never seen Spider-Man 3, I feel like everybody assumed Harry was going to die or end up in prison. I mean, I don't think anyone said that, but I'm just saying I can imagine someone saying that maybe Harry would die. Yeah. He's way better than Harry from The Amazing Spider-Man 2. I will explain why I hate that after I rewatch that movie. Yeah, I'm going to hate every minute of it. I'm going to keep saying it's a setup movie. I've been saying it was a setup movie since I learned what a setup movie was. Since I learned the word setup. I was like, oh yeah, exactly what you can tell about the Amazing Spider-Man movie. So yeah, Harry just dies. It's like Peter's broken up inside. But if you watch Spider-Man No Way Home, something happens with that movie that is just like, oh, okay, feel better, or okay. But please, someone just watch that movie. And there's someone that watches my videos that I'm related to. Please watch Spider-Man No Way Home. I need to review that movie, please. I've been trying to hold everything in since I saw that movie. I'm still like, holy crap, that was awesome. Who have mercy? Have mercy, I need to review that movie. But yeah, this movie's, it's a mixed bag. And one more thing. Sam Raimi said, when this movie came out a year later, he said, I know I made a crappy movie. And it's just like, okay, he admitted that he made a crappy movie. And he did it in a normal way. Not Josh Trank way. Alcoholic weirdo. Well, if you don't know, what's the Josh Trank way? Well, before the movie came out, he said this movie was bad. You don't do that. If you want people to go to watch your movie, you don't say before the movie that your movie is bad. Then you lowered people's expectations, and people hated the movie. Sam Raimi didn't do that. Yeah, he was like, okay, I gotta get people these seats. Maybe this is a good movie. I mean, I think this is gonna be a jumbo crap. I mean, he don't even say this is a jumbo crappy mess. I mean, he's like, okay, maybe this movie would be good. I don't want to use Venom. And then he just say, okay, people hate this movie. And he said, I'm sorry about that. And he did a movie like, he drew it like Joel Schumacher when he says, I wanted to make a good Batman movie. No, you didn't. You wanted to make a toy commercial as a movie. You idiot. Goodness gracious. Anyway, it's hard to grade this movie. I would give it a B-. This is hard. I say still keep watching this movie. I watch this movie every time. I hate it even more. But I do keep noticing some good parts because, like, the older I get, the more I'm like, okay, that was actually bad. And I can ignore the dancing. Once I watch it, I forget that the dancing was in the movie. On purpose. I mean, I literally try to forget the dancing. And I'm just like, holy crap, why? What the what? But anyway, B+. And I will review the Mark Webb two-parter. It was almost a franchise. Sony wanted to make, well, the Spider-Man version of the MCU. Yeah, that'd work. Anyway, thanks for watching. Goodbye.